what I'm about to tell you again, we are expressing the corruption that is going on island Uromi, which they refer to as St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to see how our own brothers has become just like the oppressors, starting to oppress their own people. So they become product of the same system that slave us and the same Caucasians. Okay? And we're straightening out a lot of different issues in terms of word we use to identify, which has been called as white. And white means a free human being. White is referred to as indigenous free people. So we say white man and we refer to it as Caucasians, but that was only twisted around on Knights of Columbus 1854 when they start calling the original people who were known as Christians, because that was the classification and identity. That was how they initiatedly called way back when. They were called Christian. And a lot of you taking this thing and put it in the form of a religion. Well, these people are the same indoctrinated people who indoctrinate you, because to slave you is not just capturing you. They have to denationalize you. This is where they make up the nationalization system, where they would call it a government or a state. And they will create jurisdiction for the stocks. So all citizens is classified as stocks and bonds. Okay? So it's called artificial people in the 14th Amendment. And it's also interpreted as chattel property slavery. And this is what took place with our melanated brothers and sisters. Now, they all are product of the system. On Island Uromi, I was violated by a magistrate, Botti Pompey, on the 18th of October 2017. Violate me, which is fighting for my rights, upon explaining, trying to defend my sovereignty right as an indigenous descendants based upon the false criteria, the false charges that they brought against me in the judicial system, which is an illegal process, unlawful and unjust, but the things that they could get away with. But in other words, for them to charge me, they had to make a name up. So they make this name up, Hezekiah Naphtali, which are a name that I do not consent. Nah, I am not such. I'm an indigenous, aboriginal Mo from the island Uromi. I am not part of the corporate world. I am not a Vincent Chan. I'm not consent to the illegal process that they're taking place. In their own court of law, it is also called contempt. And they had violated even their own rights and their own constitutional laws. So which means they are also guilty of corruption within their own system. And I'm stressing this out because we have to adjust it. Now, upon that date, he said for 14 days to the psychiatric institution. Well, upon me, a humble, highly intellectual, and more enlightened than those fools, you know what I mean, who trying to fight against my rights and my justice, which are my melanated brothers. So they're just like Judas who betrayed Jesus. Well, they betraying their own kind. They're actually fighting against their own self, because their ancestors suffer the same genocide and the same wicked, corrupted system that exists in the form of government system, which you presently call St. Vincent, but the real name is Uromi. So these people are imposters, hypocrite, and betrayal to their own kind. I want this is a straight lesson, so that when others gather this and listen to this, you will be able to enhance and figure out the truth from the fiction, and the knowledge will gather to you, and you will realize how corrupt and how wicked these systems you call government. And many of you go around, oh, we need a leader. Why can't you lead yourself? Why can't you follow yourself? Why do you need somebody to push your button and press you and tell you where to go or what to do? Yo, people, start think for yourself. Stop make these people think for you. Okay? Upon these illegal processes that took place against me on the 18th of October, things didn't go the way they planned it. Neither did the corrupted system work in their favor. I got out on the 26th of October, one day before the so-called independent of the illegal state called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now again, no country that is evolved, I should use it in the great way of expression, no island or continent that is evolved through slavery, that is denationalized and made a name up for, could never be independent, because first of all, that is not the name that the indigenous descendants give to the island, nor the names of the descendants that is living on the island. The names that they carry is actually a slave code, which is property for Christian code, which are the European colonizers who slaved them. They are nationally called Christians. So therefore, they are not independent. And this illegal process that's been taking place on Island Uromi, which needs to be adjusted. I've contacted the United Nations, I've contacted Impact Justice, I've sent all my files of the violation we bought and Pumpy did to me. I've sent the illegal procedures as we do, because they just the last try right now as they put a warrant out for the alias, the artificial name that they're trying to use to denationalize me, which there ain't no one named Hezekiah Naphtali. Okay? And they put a warrant out for that. Presently, they have a case on the 21st of March, which I'm going to go back there and defend my indigenous rights. What they have been doing is that even when the crooked police officer who's called PC Woods, okay, who approached me conveying my convoy, which they call a car, which is my right, and they don't have the right to tell me what to do, how to pay their taxes. I'm indigenous. You have to respect me. It's like this. I cannot come into your house and kidnap you and force you to do something against your will. That is called kidnap, human trafficking, extortion. Well, it's the same thing they're trying to do me. Come onto my land and direct and change the laws that is designed to govern, to protect indigenous rights, and try to force me to be a corporate person. So in other words, make up a name to me and force me to pay the illegal process tax, which is corruption. Now, I'm not going to fall for this corrupted system that they're trying to bring down. But what I'm straightening this whole thing out is that I want you all to see the corruption is taking place and they're still going with it, fighting. Now, the reason why all this process has been taking place, when that illegal corrupted officer pulled me over and I show him my declaration, which is my true identity of an indigenous aboriginal, okay, which they ought to respect. He didn't respect it. So he still feel he can try his crooked ways, carry me to the police station, lock me up for 24 hours, then carry me to the court. After heading to the court and explaining to the female magistrate there, she realized, bam, she tried to put me on self-bail, which is another illegal process. Okay? You understand? You cannot bail her, but I gave her the name, Ali, which is my indigenous name. She caught with that. Now, these crooked cops on the way, even before at the station, they're telling me, we're not going to let you get away with this, even though we know this is true. We can't let this here get away. We can't let you be free. You know, we're going to try to see how much we can get away with it for now. We know the world will come down on us if they find out what we're doing, but we don't care. Until there's some measures take place to stop, we're going to try this. We're going to make the judge tell the judge what to do. The judge is going to listen to it because he listened to what I say, and he's going to put you and adjust you as a crazy man and send you to a psychiatric institution for evaluation. That's how we're going to try to close up your case so we don't make you get away with this, because you cannot win we and our system. So this is the expression by the crooked police officer, PC Woods and the rest of them, because they have their agenda, and that judge will not listen to you, so he would not even let you have a defense of yourself. You will just talk and it would go in vain, and he wouldn't listen to a word to say. He will just say you crazy and send a psychiatrist. And so said, so be done. And that's exactly the process that it took place. I didn't have a chance to defend myself, to even express myself. If it was like in a proper process where everyone is entitled to their own opinion, everybody is entitled to express, and everybody is entitled to defend themselves. No one don't have to a lawyer. As long as you're an intellectual and enlightened like me and who knows the laws, you will defend yourself and you will win any case against the crooked system. But in other words, for them to shut that up, they have to pretend I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm doing and they don't understand what I'm saying. So send me for psychiatric institution evaluation, because that's the process. They would go down that dirty road to play this little crooked cat and mouse game to see how crooked they could get away with the illegal process.